Well, all right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Fishing for Content podcast, episode number 6. This week, a special guest is actually my wife. But before that, I just want to say this is a fishing and content creating podcast where we talk everything fishing and content creating and where those two worlds overlap. And each week, we try to have a different guest on. That won't always be the case, but we're going to get different people on that are either anglers or content creators, preferably both. Tonight, actually, kind of neither, right? Like you'd say you don't do either of those things. But ever since Colby Yak Fishing said that his wife actually edited his videos, I was thinking, well, I need to get Amber on here and just ask her why she doesn't edit my videos. So really tonight is really just a chance for me to pressure her into work in the business with me. But before we start talking to Amber, what's up, Cash? How's it going, buddy? If you're listening to this later on your favorite podcasting app, whether that be Spotify, and we're working on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, and other podcast apps. If you're listening to this later, then you need to know that we actually record this live on my YouTube channel every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a live show where we interact with chat, and there's a Q&A at the end. But we'll try to make sure that we read the comments and the questions out loud. So they might be redundant for us live, but so that the people listening later on will be included. Also, if you're listening to this podcast later, you can't really interact live, but you can always come to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/teejstone. Subscribe to the channel and leave me comments really on the videos, and I'll get back with you. And if you are an angler and or content creator, I would love to have you on the show and be able to just kind of talk with you, interview style for a while, talk about fishing, talk about content and everything in between. Cash says he's hanging out with us while he's at work. That's the dream, bro, to be able to listen to podcasts at work. Georgia Bassmaster, dude, what's up? Good to see you, man. Great video today, by the way. Great video today with the Angler app fishing rod. Dude, Georgia Bassmaster, I'm glad you're here because that reminds me of something else that I wanted to say. I wanted to talk first about the name of the podcast. Before, I didn't have a name, and I told you guys we were trying to get to the point where we had a name because we wanted to move it to podcasting apps. So I'm using a host app called Anchor. I'm not giving them huge shout outs or anything until they send me a check when this thing blows up. But I use Anchor, and it's pushing my podcast out to those podcast apps. And so originally, I thought I liked the name. What was the first name I wanted?
Creative Fishing or Fishing Creative?
Yeah, we were back and forth between the Creative Fishing Podcast, which sounds too much like we're coming up with creative ways to fish. And I mean, we're still learning, right? And the other one was the Fishing Creative Podcast. And I actually really like that, thinking about like the creative as like a group of people. But I got some negative feedback on it. And then somebody was like, well, what about fishing for content? And I was like, that's perfect because I wanted it to encompass both fishing and content creating. It kind of sounds like I only fish to create content, but if I'm honest, like if I'm fishing, I've got a camera rolling, right? So, yeah. I mean, I kind of am just fishing for content, but I mean, it's not because I'm trying to exploit fishing or anything. So that's the name. Oh, and the reason like tonight's episode is episode 6. I did 3 or 4. Dude, you love the name? Dude, thanks so much. I'm so glad you love the name. I got a little bit of positive feedback on it and decided to just absolutely run with it. So shout out to my friend Donut if he stops in tonight. I think his name is Donut on YouTube. So if he jumps in here, we'll make sure we thank him for the name. The reason tonight is episode 6, if some of you guys have been here from the beginning of me doing live streams on YouTube, you know that I did 3 or 4 episodes by myself where I reviewed a video that I made for the On the Line contest this summer, and I didn't want to move those over to the podcast format because it was me reviewing my videos, and I don't think that would translate well. So what I did is I decided to start with episode 1 being the interview that we had with Georgia Bassmaster, where we both kind of talked about our experiences with the contest as a whole. And so GB is literally like in episode 1. So forever enthroned in this podcast history. Nathan Surdick, fishing for men, TJ. That's probably taken. There's probably some religious. It fits because I am a believer, obviously, but I'm sure there's some religious podcast out there that has it. Garrett says, "Yo, I'm here for this." I love you, Garrett. How did it go this weekend, by the way? Garrett fished a kayak tournament Saturday, and hopefully knocked him out, dude, because it was on the Chattahoochee River. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually originally from the Alabama-Georgia line. The Chattahoochee River separates the two states, and I'm actually from where those two things where those two states meet. So tonight, we're talking about fishing, content creating, and we're talking about it with Amber, who is my wife. And the reason I wanted to have her on, not just kidding about the Colby thing, asking you to edit my videos, because I don't think, have you ever edited a video?
The only time I have is after our wedding. I wanted to like take a clip from the video, and I think you had like some kind of thing on my computer, so I just like edited the clip out. That's the only thing I've ever done.
Was it iMovie?
I think so.
So yeah, so all Apple computers come with iMovie, and a lot of people like edit, like a lot of big YouTubers still use iMovie to edit on. But I'm proud of. I actually remember saying like I'm proud of you for figuring that out.
Because I did that. I did the video and I moved the audio around to be able to like get the audio exactly where I wanted it to.
Okay.
So I was impressed with myself figuring that out.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
That's all.
Garrett said he didn't fish. He was working. Boat should be soon. Kayak should sell this week. Dude, I hope so.
Why is he getting rid of his kayak?
Because he's getting a boat. Cash Hunter says, Amber, what's your go-to lure for this summer heat?
No idea. I can't even think of one right now.
So so the format for this podcast is usually we do introductory stuff, and then we talk about fishing, and then we talk about content, and there's a Q&A. So I'll talk about current state of fishing for me when we get to that point. Amber, so tell us about yourself. Like, same question I ask everybody. Just tell us about yourself, what you're doing, like kind of who you are. Like, they know you're my wife, but like who is Amber basically?
So I am a nursing student.
Hey, Cash said, you're right. It's all a guess. He is 100% correct.
Yeah, so I'm a nursing student. That's pretty much who I am right now. I work like very part-time, and
where do you work?
at like do I say the name of it?
You can, yeah.
It's called
Whoa. You never know. Somebody yeah. Don't say the name of it.
That's
somebody
what
could
I was like, do I say?
somebody could dox us or something. Like, you never know.
What if someone comes and finds me and like kills me?
Hey, what's up, Aiden? All right, so hopefully they wouldn't kill you,
okay,
right?
But they could be weird.
But still. Okay, so you're a nursing student, you work part-time. Do you even like fishing?
Can I say no?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, it's not that I don't like it, but the last time I really tried to fish is when we went to that fishing camp thing with the fin cannons.
Yeah.
And we didn't catch anything. Y'all didn't even catch anything that day we went out. And it's just not, like, for me, it's not fun to sit in the heat and not catch anything.
Yeah, I agree. And that's summertime fishing. You guys should be able to hear a little bit better. I just turned the gate off. So you should be able to hear us both okay now. Y'all let us know if you can or can't hear someone, and we'll adjust. We're working off of one microphone. We do have two webcams, but I only have one microphone currently. So that's something that by the time I have another guest in the studio, we'll definitely adjust from there. Georgia Bassmaster says creeks and rivers in the summer is my go-to, and GB just put out a video today where he tore it up in a river, and it actually made me want to go fish like some creeks. I've never done anything like that. Y'all know I love to fish in the river here in Monk's Corner, but I'll fill you guys in on that in a second. You freeze your butt off in the winter. Hey, what's up, Fishing the Dot? So Amber doesn't like fishing really. She doesn't have a good experience with it, but she does love content. I think you consume content as we all do. What type of content do you like love the most?
I consume a lot of like food blogging and like non-toxic, like just what do you call that? Like living like
It's like
food and like home,
like health and wellness.
yeah,
I think.
yeah.
So like you follow a lot of health and wellness influencers. In fact, like show them your Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup, y'all.
Oh wait, where's the camera?
you're on both. So the Stanley Cup like is something that an influencer like literally influenced you to buy that cup.
Yeah, and you have one coming tomorrow.
And I have one coming tomorrow because I love it. So I love my Hydro Flask too. Actually, I think we do a podcast episode on drinkware because I love that cup. So I've got one that's coming tomorrow, but they sell out because an influencer pushes them, and so they sell out immediately.
In
so
like 10 minutes.
So what like draws you into an influencer? Like what makes you hang out on their page? Would you say it's like the info they're giving you? Is it the energy, the entertainment, the audio, video quality? What is it that makes you land on an influencer's page and stick there?
I don't know. I mean, like, I guess like the interest of mine, like most of the time it started with like food, and then it goes to like healthy food, and then it goes to like people living like a more non-toxic life, or like advertising like non-toxic, like I don't know. It's just,
yeah. Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And then like
I guess just the things that I want more information on. Like people are informative and like advertise these things, and I don't know.
So it's not necessarily like high energy like rap music like beats to people reeling in big fish, right? Do you watch any fishing influencers?
You?
All right, so so I wanted to ask you this question too in front of a live audience because GB actually asked this question. Lean in a little bit and like lean in here a little bit and then angle your webcam down a little bit. We just need to be a little bit closer to the microphone because we're sharing. You got it. So GB asked this question in the very first episode. You can go back and listen on Spotify or go back in the YouTube VODs. Yeah, that's good. Do you watch all of my videos?
No. Okay. I have not seen every single one of your videos.
Dang.
But I feel like I see them as you're editing them most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I will like be at work or somewhere where I can like just have my phone sitting there, my AirPods in, and I'm like, I haven't watched this video in a while. Like I feel like I need to catch up and be supportive.
Yeah, she told me that one time. First of all, Premiere Pro doesn't count as a view, so if you're watching me edit, that doesn't. I'm a struggling YouTuber out here, babe. But no, in all seriousness, she said that one time to me. She was like, I felt bad because I haven't watched her videos in a while, so I went back and just kind of like watched them continuous, and so that helps too. But fishing content really isn't her like realm. It's not really your cup of tea, so I don't fault you for that. But seriously, you gotta let them play and give me the view, babe. Come on. What would you say? And this is a couple questions that are really. And if you guys have questions for Amber or for me that might be off topic what we're talking about in the moment, we'll have a Q&A section at the end where we can talk. We can answer any of your questions. We are an open book for the most part, just not too informative so we don't get doxxed. One of the real reasons I wanted to have you on here is because I wanted to ask you what might be some of the challenges of being married to or even dating, because when we were dating, I was on the Twitch grind, like hard.
This is so much better.
Dude, had a schedule, y'all. I was like, yeah, we can go to dinner, but I gotta be home by 8 o'clock. So I got from 8 to 12, bro. What was it, 8 to 12? Or yeah, it was like 8 to 12, like 4 nights a week. It might have been 5.
Yeah, it might have been 5.
Dude, I was like, I gotta be there. I gotta do this. So just talk for a second. I just spit everywhere. Just talk for a second, and you can get close to the microphone here.
Lean in.
Yeah. Lean into. Lean
Why
in,
don't we
baby.
just
We're
share
here.
the same camera?
Huh?
Why don't we just share a camera?
Yeah. Let's just share a camera. Here we go. Check this.
So weird.
Y'all wanna? Well, then the chat
Okay,
won't be on the
it doesn't
screen.
matter.
All right. It doesn't matter because this is gonna be on a podcast app later. Hopefully, more people will be listening to it. Talk about some of the challenges of being supportive, or dating, or being married to a content creator, or we'll say this, an up and coming influencer.
Okay, so when you were streaming video games, it was the like, I need to be home this time. I have to stream from this time to this time, or whatever. This is not like that, but it's like when we are, okay, you're not doing so much of the vlog anymore, so it's not like you have to like record every road trip we take or whatever. But one of the like most annoying things for me is going on like a trip to Valley or West Point or whatever, or wherever we're going, and you have fishing poles at my feet, going to the back of the truck.
Dude, that's Garrett's fault, man. That's Garrett's fault because Garrett wants me to come fishing with him.
Well, I want a road trip one time where I don't have to worry about the fishing poles at my feet coming beside me.
Right. Okay, so if you guys have a solution, like I have a truck, I have a full-size 1500 pickup truck, but I don't want to just put my rods, I don't want to put my expensive rods in my truck bed, you know? Like, I don't want them sliding around back there.
There has to be a solution.
There has to be a solution. So if you guys have a solution to rod and reel transport, let me know, because I'm fine with that. I mean, they won't fit in the back seat. That's just the way it is.
And then I saw the thing where like some fishing poles come apart, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's the cases, but you said yours don't come apart, so.
Okay, so GB says, Tej, you got to get some bungees and strap them to the inside of your roof. That's what I do. I don't know.
Inside of your roof?
Yeah. So I wonder if the inside of... Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's actually...
Inside of your roof, like in the truck?
Yeah. Big PVC tube. Nathan says a big PVC tube that'll hold them. I've seen some DIY PVC tubes. That's probably the route I'll go. But I want to pursue what GB just said about strapping them to the roof on the inside, because I really don't like the idea of them like rolling around, even in a big tube, like rolling around in the bed of the truck. Makes me really nervous because, I mean, you know, I spent a lot of money. I mean, they weren't that expensive. Actually, they were all free.
Okay.
But like, I have nice rods and one nice reel. You know, I want them to be protected in the car, so I'm gonna check that out. In the SUV, might not be able to in the truck, and that's kind of what I'm thinking, because I think the interior of the truck isn't. Yeah, because my shortest rod is like 7 feet. Yeah. 6'9" actually. Nice.
Because it goes like diagonal in the truck, because it sits at my feet and then goes like behind his head driving.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'd rather drive than ride in the passenger seat.
Hear me out, Amber. TJ should get a boat and then the rods stay there.
Where are you seeing these comments?
So the chat will be here, and here, and the problem. But the problem with YouTube is it will literally, like, sometimes YouTube will update first. Sometimes Streamlabs will update first. Sometimes this random chat over here, I don't know, y'all.
He said can't put them in the bed.
So you strap them to the roof on the outside in a big PVC. That's not a bad play. I guess that's not a bad play, but I think I would be okay bungeeing a tube to the bed of my truck, because when I've got my kayak back there, I mean, I can also tether it to the kayak, so I don't have a gate on, and I can literally hear myself like my mouth. It is like so stressful.
Your mouth moving.
So in future episodes, we'll have 2 mics in the room if we do this together, or if I have someone in person.
Ew.
So
why would you do that in the mic?
Well, I just took a sip. What are you talking about? So back to Garrett's comment, I think we have to address, babe.
The boat.
He says we should get a boat because then the rods just stay in the boat. What are your thoughts?
Let's get a boat tomorrow.
It's done, boys. We're getting a boat.
No. You can do this, TJ, though. You use like reverse psychology where you're like, yep, let's go this weekend and get a boat. And he's like, no. We can't do that yet.
2-piece rods could be a potential answer if you don't mind them. I don't know. I think for travel, maybe having 1 or 2 would be okay. But I prefer the 1-piece. But if it's, a matter of us going on vacation and me taking rods, I'll suck it up.
I've gotten more used to it though. Like I have a way of like putting my arm over it to where it's like it's fine.
I mean, you've never been hooked or anything like.
No. I mean, you've taken the hooks off if you like.
I usually do.
You either take them off or they're covered somehow, right?
I usually take them off and put a swivel on.
Okay. Yeah.
Or just not. Sometimes I'll just take it off and put a rod sock over it and just have fishing line dangling in there.
That's
poggers. Poggers is an old thing from Twitch. It means like excitement. So W means win, right? Win, poggers, like PogChamp. Anyway, sorry for all you non-nerds out there. Aiden says I had a 2-piece rod, and when I casted, the rod flew off and the line snapped, and I lost half the rod. That sounds like a very series of unfortunate events, Lemony Snicket. But I think I can't remember. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong here. But I have the Guggen Squad favorite combo back when the Guggens were working with favorite, that lime green spinning rod. This I think it's 6'6". I'm actually about to start using that rod to do some light tackle videos, maybe some panfish videos. Wink, wink. So I think I can't remember if that's 2-piece or not. You guys can correct me. Telescopic rod. I want to have. Yeah, I need to get something like that to just keep in the truck at all times.
Just in case something.
Bro, that's the thing. All right, so y'all gotta. First of all, if you're not subscribed to Georgia Bassmaster and you've been in this community for longer than a week, like, what are you doing? Go sub to Georgia Bassmaster. Like, literally, the video he put out today, it looked like he just parked on the side of the road and walked down this embankment to this creek, catches some fish, almost gets impaled by a gar, and like gets out. Or he actually, I don't want to spoil it for you. Gets chased out, not by the gar, but it like to be able to do that. Like there's been times where I was like, man, if I had a rod and reel, I'd pull over and hit this water real quick. So maybe that's the play. What are some of the? So we talked about some of the challenges. If you're new to this podcast, by the way, and you're listening on Spotify or wherever you may listen to your podcast, this episode might be a little more sporadic because my wife is neither a content creator nor an angler, but we're getting her perspective on being married to a fishing content creator. Nathan, we're going to address your comment about pan fishing when we get to the fishing section. We're still in the Amber intro. Babe, what would you say? I'm sorry. This is a professional podcast.
Stop saying Amber, though.
Amber. No. What are some of the rewards that we talked about, the challenges and some of the frustrations of being with a content creator? Are there any like rewards? Is there anything exciting for you, like, since I'm an influencer?
Like I get excited for you. Okay. Know? Like you got into this contest, which was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Like the one video of you painting the lures.
Week 3 titled Creativity.
Yeah, that one. Like it was exciting to, like it was just fun to like be behind the scenes making that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it's exciting like for your sponsorship. Like I don't know, like it's fun to like watch you get excited.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that. So behind the scenes of that video that she's talking about, if you head over to the YouTube, get banger of a vid, that was my favorite video that I made that week or that month. Sorry.
We were laughing so hard.
If you go like she said behind the scenes. So what was cool about the video was her and one of her. She has twin sisters, Kara and Alyssa. Well, I said Kara, and then I was like, should I say their names? So Kara, who's actually I think she's watching, or outside the door listening.
Not
she and what y'all don't see is her. So Jeremy is filming. I'm doing all the stuff, and then I'll take a lure. I'll hand it to Kara or Amber, and by the hook.
No, it was by the
tape. Yeah, we had the hooks taped. They run inside, blow dry it so it'll dry faster, and then run it back outside. And
we did it about 10 times.
Dude, they were laughing. That was my the most fun I had filming a video, because they were laughing so hard. And I left that part in the video where I say dock donkeys and we all bust out laughing. Like, I left that in there for two reasons. Number one, because I don't take myself that seriously, and I wanted everybody to know that dog donkeys is a running joke, even though we do use that word when we're fishing. But also the involvement of Amber and her sister, and like they were laughing, everybody was having such a good time with it, and that's one of my favorite parts about what we do now versus the video game scene, is because I don't feel like I'm on an island. Like, I have you, I have Jeremy, I have so many people now, like even people like GB that I met through the contest. There's so many more people behind me and supporting me than when I was doing the video game thing. And at times doing video games, I felt like I was on an island, and it was kind of like, every man for himself. Even though Garrett was there during those days too. I love creating fishing content. Can you tell a difference in my personality? Or because I tell people all the time that I feel a lot less depressed now that I'm doing outdoor stuff. Can you kind of talk to that for a second?
Yeah. So he hasn't in a while, but he used to play League of Legends, and our dog is named after this game. So, I mean, we got that out of it.
One of our dogs.
Yeah, one of them.
She's downstairs.
I think she might be under the bed. But her name came out of this. But he used to get so mad at this game.
How mad?
So mad I would get mad at you.
Okay.
I don't know. You just I would be trying to go to sleep, and
what are some of the things I would yell? You can't say it. This is a
I
family.
really don't even know.
This is a family podcast.
And sometimes it wasn't yelling. It was I was trying to go to sleep because I had school or work or whatever, and he would start banging on the keyboard, and it was miserable. I would get mad, he'd get mad. It was this whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I always tell him because we have blackout curtains. I always tell him, don't sit in a dark room and stare at your computer all day. I still tell him this, but. He was doing a lot of sitting in the room, a dark room, staring at the computer all day.
Yeah. I still do that sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, now you're getting outside, making these videos. When you are staring at a computer, it's to play games for fun, not because you feel like you have to.
Right.
Or to edit your videos that you just went outside and spent time in the sun.
Yeah. So video, making YouTube videos for me now, or so now that I do this, gaming started to feel like a job that I wasn't getting any pay for. I wasn't being rewarded for the work that I'm putting in, whereas creating content around fishing, I actually feel the payoff for the hard work that I've been putting in, like getting into the online contest, and now being sponsored by Catchco, and meeting some incredible creators, and now doing this podcast that is getting some traction. And I mean, the payoff has just been so good. But let me say this too. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitch. My channel did go live this week while I was raiding, and dude, it was so funny because that stream had a higher average view count than any stream that I had in the previous year on Twitch. So
when you're less stressed about it.
Dude, I used to stress about the 10th of a viewer count. Dude, it was awful.
He had to turn off his view count at one point because he was letting it get to him so bad.
Yeah. I'd be like, man, why's nobody watching me?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So video games for me now is actually fun again for the most part. World of Warcraft and I are about to break up. If there's anybody from the guild watching, we've talked about kind of taking a break from it with Blizzard and everything that they have going on. But so I am on Twitch. I reclaimed teejstone on Twitch as well. So that is purely a hobby. There is no schedule. There is no planned streams, nothing like that. Although there is a new bass fishing game coming out, so your boy will be streaming that because it's supposed to actually be good. Either way, that's not a serious thing for me. That'll just be a fun thing. I'm not even going to be promoting it. That's not even a main source of content.
I feel like I had a little bit of PTSD from the other night. He was like, "Oh, I'm streaming right now and I have this many viewers," and I'm like, "What?" Because
'Cause,
Like,
yeah.
just the thought of him streaming video games again, I'm like,
Yeah, it's not a serious thing. It's
And
not a serious thing.
he is very, like, he's a 7. I don't know if you know anything about an Enneagram, but he's a 7, and he switches hobbies all the time. So I was afraid for a second that he's, like,
No.
done YouTube fishing
No.
and
No.
stuff.
YouTube fishing is.
I knew you weren't, but...
Yeah, YouTube fishing is the jam for me. No, hey, just wondering if you have had a job other than creating content. Yeah, I'm a full-time youth pastor. Actually, I work full-time at a church, 40 hours plus or minus, so every week. And all the content I do in my spare time. Fortunately, my job is pretty flexible, so there are some weeks where I'll shift my off day so that I can get out on the water or go fishing or something like that. But really just have to make the most of the time when I'm not at work. And so for people out there, though, that like want to start a channel and they're like, well, I've got a full-time job or this or that, like literally just like make the time in your spare time and start doing it. Don't wait until you have time to do it, because you'll never do it. You got Aiden says you got the dream life, bro. I mean, some days, dude, I feel like it, but you know, it's like anything else. Like I mean, ministry is a very rewarding job, but it is a very challenging job. Working full-time in a church is exhausting, mentally, physically sometimes, but more often spiritually exhausting. So, I mean, there are days I come home where I'm pretty miserable, but that's all part of ministry. But you're right, it is great because my job is flexible. So some days, you know, it'll be like a Tuesday morning, and I'll be like out on the river fishing, but that means Friday morning, instead of sleeping in and playing video games all day, I'm in the office catching up on things that I didn't finish throughout the week. So there you go. But like today, I was in the office, and I love editing videos. I really do. Like that's one of my favorite parts of this. But editing the church video for YouTube's not something that I super love, content wise. So you know, some days even editing videos can be frustrating, but yes, my life is pretty great right now. All right, so let's transition. It's already 8:30. Let's talk a little bit about fishing. I'm going to give you guys an update as to where I am. If you guys have any fishing questions, we can talk about those, and then we're going to talk about recent and upcoming podcast or content stuff, and then Q&A. So we're kind of, you know, we're rounding first base here, babe. You're doing good. She doing okay, chat? You guys think she's doing okay? Let her know. If you're listening on Spotify or your podcast app later, come over to YouTube and let Amber know how much you appreciate her. Also, you can follow her on Instagram, actually, right? What's your Instagram handle?
Amstone.
Amstone. 2 S's or 1?
2.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
What is your Instagram?
It's 2, I think.
What's Ed Justin the Fishing Dude? What's up, man?
Yeah, 2.
2 S's.
AMBS
Stone. And then you can obviously go to mine and find her through there. All right. Let's talk about fishing. She's doing really good. You guys are naturals. Hey, thank God, because we are married. Yeah. What if we were like just awkward on the mic together?
I'm awkward.
A little. She put on I don't know if Cash is still out there, but she put on the Bass Pro sweatshirt, and I said, babe, perfect. You're coming on a fishing podcast wearing the Bass Pro shirt. Cash is in here, manager of Bass Pro. All right. Fishing. It has been freaking hot here. Like,
I don't even know how I'm wearing this.
Like today was it said 92 feels like 97. The other day when I actually went inshore fishing. I'll tell you guys about that in just a second. It said feels like 102. It's like miserable outside here in South Carolina, and that is not why I haven't been out on the water. But my kayak 3 weeks in is still messed up. And so if you guys don't know, I was filming my very first sponsored video, and the levers that hold my pedal drive into my kayak both broke. Well, one of them broke. I tried to fix it with super glue, went out the next day. It didn't work. And the other side broke. So through that, let me get a sip of water, man. Let me get a sip of water. I sound like one of those old men at church that you talk to and you like hear their mouth. Ugh.
I feel like you hear it.
Drink, bros. All right. So I get on the Vibe Shearwater 125 forum on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, do you guys have a fix for this? And people were like, you're in Texas. If it's not over 100 degrees, it's only because it's pouring rain. Dude, all the Texas guys, man. Yeah, it's like a dry heat out there, though, right? I want to come. I'm coming to Texas to fish. Garrett Partridge says, like Alan Jackson said, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. Dude, it do. So I get on the forum and I'm asking about, what are some ways to fix? And people recommend two things. Go to Lightning Kayaks and get their little clips, and they're $45 each. And I obviously have to have two. Or go to Hobie and get theirs. Didn't even look it up. I know Hobie makes a great product. Absolutely cannot, like I'm sure. I just assume that it's more expensive than the $45 each, so $90. Or I can buy a whole new pod for, I think it's $165. I don't want to do that, okay? So, or I can just paddle. But nobody wants to paddle once you've been pedaling. So the founder of Yak Gadget, who makes my pod, reached out and said, hey, you have the old levers. Reach out to me via DM and I'll take care of you. I'm like, oh man, this is actually really cool. I mean, I'm really excited about this. So I shoot him a DM. Don't hear anything for like 3 days. So then I hit the Yak Gadget website. Email us for help. Email him, hey, I talked to John. He said you guys would take care of me. What are my options here? What do I need to do? Nothing for 2 weeks. No response, nothing. I'm getting mad, right? Like I'm getting frustrated because, some people create content because they just enjoy it no matter what happens. But I'm really trying to build this. I'm trying to build this as a business. And I'm like, my kayak gets me out on the water. This is part of my business. I'm starting to stress. I sent him another email and John actually responded. John, the founder of Yak Gadget, responded because I'm willing to pay for the part if I need to. But he hit me back and he said that they were actually going to ship those to me today. So hopefully by the end of the week, my kayak will be back in commission. So I haven't been able to get out on the kayak lately. Hopefully that's coming to an end soon. And then I'll give you guys the full rundown. But 3 weeks has been a long time. And you're probably thinking, well, Tej, why don't you just go paddle? Look, guys, the river gets crazy, okay? And I could paddle it, but I don't want to. It's awesome because they are taking care of me. And the reason why, and once I get the pieces installed and I'm back on the water, I'm going to give them a big shout out, is I'm not the original owner of the pod. I'm the original owner of the kayak, but this is a third-party pod that a buddy bought and then sold to me super cheap. So I honestly expected them to say, well, you're not the original owner, you got to pay for the parts. They didn't do that. And so, I'm super excited about Yak Gadget taking care of me. I just really need those parts, John. So hopefully they're in the mail. Hopefully they'll be here this week. His name is John, the founder of Yak Gadget. So, and the fact that the owner said shoot me a DM, even though he didn't respond to the DM, I think that's pretty cool. And I've heard that they're really slammed over there too. So, we're gonna give grace because I'm not a Karen. Okay, I'm not somebody that is like super like, oh, my meal took 20 minutes to come out. You better give me a discount, right? Like
that's very opposite of who we are.
That's the opposite of who we are. Like literally, my meal could be the worst I've ever had. I'm still gonna. She's trying to lick my face. My dog was trying to lick my face. I'm not a complainer or anything like that. So I was getting frustrated, but now that they've hit back to me, I feel better about it. So the kayak hopefully will be up and running very soon, and we'll be back on the water making kayak content for you guys as well. Tell me about Karen's, Garrett, and if it's appropriate, I'll read the story out loud. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've been having this thought. I'm gonna mention this, and then we're gonna move on. I've been thinking about selling the yak and getting me a John boat. All right, moving on.
Just saying.
So I've been fishing some bass tournaments. I know. Sit over there, Riley. It's fine. This is Riley. She is not named after a video game character.
She doesn't like me.
She loves me. She's crying right now. More frog catches? You betcha, boy. I want to get out there so bad. Hang on. Keep entertain them.
I don't know what to do.
All right, I'm back. So I really want to get back on the kayak because I'm really excited to start using the Guggen mini filthy frogs that I got. Like I got 2 of them and I haven't been able to fish them yet because I got to get out there, dude. I got to get out there to where the fish are. David says, Justin to Fishing says, don't do it. I'm on the fence, man. I'm on the fence. I don't know. Because I do love kayak fishing. David says he's driving, listening. Good to hear you. Dude, David, good to see you. I want to get you on one night so that we can talk on the podcast as well. Josh London, skipping that. For the people that are going to be listening later, the fish don't know you're coming. The problem is, like, and A.L. Basson in chat will tell you this too, the ponds around here are just awful right now. So I want to hit the pond with the mini filthy frogs. I got these 2 colors. I got bone, and I think I got bullfrog or leopard frog and bone. Also got some mini zingers. Don't forget, click link down in the description of this video. Go to Shop Carl's. Use my link. It helps me out. I'd appreciate it very much. Also, use code TEAJ to get $10 off your first mystery tackle box. So I've been fishing some. You brought your boat down yesterday. Tell me when you're ready to send it, bro. We'll go. I've been fishing some bass tournaments in a bass club. You guys know the first video is out. The second video actually will drop this Wednesday. So the day after tomorrow. And it was so hot. There were fish caught in the video. So the whole club though. So on the river, the keep limit is 12 inches, but on the lakes backwards. I think it's 12 either way. Yeah. 12 on the river and 12 on the Santee Cooper lakes. There were fish caught, but only 2 fish were weighed in by 2 different people in the whole club last month, or like 2 weeks ago. It was a hot, hard, rough day out on the water. You guys will see that video on Wednesday, but I have a bass club meeting this week, so you're gonna see at least monthly co-angling tournament videos. So I hope you guys like those, because as I learn, hopefully teaching you guys. I'll address Garrett's comment in 1 second. The next video you guys will see after that is actually a catfishing video. I went out catfishing with Kara's boyfriend Jackson, and he put me on him. I got to be honest with you though, holding catfish still scares me.
I've never done that.
You've never?
Scares me.
Dude, it's weird.
Because I don't know if this is true. Apparently it's not true, but I've always thought that their whiskers like stab you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do they not?
Or I don't.
Not stab you, but like stab you.
I don't think the whiskers do. It's like they have like these arms, and you gotta like grab up under them.
Yeah. See.
And I think the biggest thing for me is like I'm scared I'm gonna grab it. It's gonna wiggle and stab me, right? Like once I'm holding it, I'm fine. The fins, yeah, it like freaks me out. So I did hold one by the lip. It was a little guy, don't worry. But then I use my fish grips for the rest. But you'll see a catfishing video very soon, and probably more, because catfishing is really fun. It's so much different than bass fishing, because you think you have a monster on, and it's just not.
Well, I told you before, like bass, you can look at a bass, and it seems like they look like they weigh so much more than like a pound.
Right.
And then you're like, I'm like, oh, how much does that weigh? And you're like, oh, like 1 point something, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it looks like it weighs 5 pounds. I guess they're just not like solid.
But so we were using stink bait. I never used stink bait. That was actually a really interesting smell that hopefully you never like get it on you, right? Because Kara stepped in it. She still smells like it though. If you get stuck, rub it against the catfish belly. All right, so in the video, I hold one by the lip. He was a little guy. I'm trying to hold another one, and it's so slimy. Like I've got my fish grips holding the catfish, and I'm trying to reach and grab him, and he's so slippery, like so slimy, that when I let go of the fish grips, he just starts like sliding down my hand. And I was like, well, I don't want his little fins to slide down my hand and stab me. So it was gross. Justin Efficient says, I've always heard tales of the whiskers too. I was told they shock you or something. So not.
Yeah, I've just always heard stuff about their whiskers, and I knew the fin thing, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But I was told the other day that's not true.
I don't know enough about catfishing yet, but I know that it was a really good, like it was really fun.
I really like to eat catfish. I just
Yes.
don't want to touch them or catch them.
So to GB's comment, get Amber on a catch and cook. So yes, I've talked for a little while lately about doing a catch and cook.
That'd be fun.
So you guys can probably already guess the part that would be hard for us is I can do the catch and she could do the cook, but there's one C in there, the cleaning that I've never done, and so I think if somebody showed me how to do it,
we know people.
Yeah. Okay, so catch and cook.
Someone could show you.
And I've actually talked to Jeremy a lot lately about doing a catch clean cook video. But we've been talking about doing like brim, but we can do catfish.
Do you eat brim?
You can eat brim, yeah, right? You can eat brim. So Garrett said, where was the comment about inshore? Is it still on the screen? Oh, when are we gonna see inshore? Yesterday I went inshore fishing for the first time. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted it to my story. I didn't take a lot of pictures, but the thing about inshore fishing here in Charleston is people love to target reds, and we were hoping, and we tried towards the end, but we didn't catch any reds. I'll tell you a story in a second. But we caught croakers and then pigfish, and I ended up holding both of them. I mean, for whatever reason, like I wasn't nervous to hold these fish. One you got to grab by the back, one you got to grab by the front, but they have teeth, so you obviously can't lip them like a bass. So went inshore fishing, caught some fish. Inshore fishing is crazy, and I got to get on this video because guys, the footage, like we tracked down a dolphin and like we were trying to find him, and he like comes up like I could have touched him. I could have touched him if I just reached out down there. And my buddy saw a manta ray jump out of the water. And in the video, you can't see it because of where he's standing on the boat, but you do see the big splash. And inshore fishing is cool because we were throwing out shrimp, dead shrimp at first, like frozen shrimp. I'll tell you about this in a second. And literally the minute like it hits the water, they're on it. And so it's really about setting a hook on a small fish was kind of complicated, but we caught some fish. Then we started targeting reds, and this boat pulls up. We're fishing under this dock. This boat rolls up, and this guy, dude, $70,000 boat. And the only reason I know that is because he said it to some kids that asked him that drove by. Super sick boat. He's like, "Hey, do you guys care if I fish like the front of the dock?" And me and my buddy are like, "Nah, man, it's cool. Don't worry about it." And then him and his girlfriend or wife or whatever catch 3 nice reds right in front of us, and we're like, "Dude, come on!" So he was catching them on live minnows. And so my buddy starts throwing his cast net, and he catches some live shrimp. And I don't know if I've ever seen live shrimp in person, right? I love to eat shrimp. They're delicious, right? So he hands me, or he like throws one to me. It's sitting on the seat, right? It's just sitting there. And so I reach down to grab the shrimp. I'm just going to grab him by the back, hook him through the tail, throw him out there, right? I reach down to grab him, and the joker like flips, like does this, flips up like maybe a foot, and I just freaked out. What? Like, I've never seen this before. And dude, he is dying laughing at me. And I'm like, "Bro, I didn't know shrimp move like that." So I finally grab him, I put him on. You know, we catch a couple of fish. And then he catches a couple of the minnows, the big minnows that the guy was fishing with that caught the reds. There's 3 in the bait bucket. I can't wait for y'all to see this video because I'm gonna make a reel out of this. This should be a good reel. So we got the bait bucket, and I'm like, so I just reach in and grab one and hook him in the back and throw him out. And he's like, yeah, no problem. He's like, but there's a lot of water in the bait bucket. Pour some out. And if you've never worked a bait bucket, like I have not, there's like this lid. The lid is like slanted, and then you can close this flap that has holes in it so that you can pour the water out without your bait getting out. I did not know that. And so I just start pouring some water out. And wouldn't you know, all 3 of those boogers just hightail it out of there. One like just turns around, looks at me, flicks me the bird, jumps in the water, and I'm like, I'm such an idiot, right? Like all of our bait now. And dude, Cody, dude, is just dying laughing at me. And I'm like, bro, I'm sorry. I've never done this inshore thing before. All this is new. None of my bait moves, right? Like when I'm holding it, it's just dead, right? It's fake. So I'm gonna go to shopcarls.com and get me some really good like artificial lures for at shopcarls.com, Carl's Bait and Tackle, for fishing for some redfish next time. All the big names, yeah, dude, absolutely. We have the fishing community is amazing. So for those of you that aren't watching this live, Justin to Fish and said, I appreciate all the big names that actually answer back authentically. You're the man for real. I'll watch all your videos for the rest of my life. I mean that. Well, dude, the fishing community is unlike any other, and that's the truth, man. The truth, man. You reach out to some of these big name content creators, and for the most part, like, at least in my experience, even today, I messaged a guy that has over 30,000 followers or 30,000 YouTube subscribers. I'm going to ask him to be on the show, and I'm really nervous, right? And I just sent him a message off of one of his stories, and he hit me back. And I was like, that was cool. He didn't have to do that. I thought it was really cool. I was talking to you, Georgia. Yeah, I mean, I think he knows. GB is he's super humble, man. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan as well. Okay. Catfishing, inshore fishing, that pretty much covers it up. As far as content goes, guys, you guys know now we do the podcast every Monday night right here live at 8 o'clock on youtube.com/teejstone. And then by Wednesday, it's uploaded to popular podcast apps like Spotify and hopefully soon Apple Music. I'll let you guys know, because when it is on Apple Podcasts, not music, but when it does make its way to Apple, I'll really appreciate some feedback on there as far as reviews, so that it will get pushed to more people. I don't know of any other podcast out there right now that's doing fishing, but specifically the content creating side of it. So I would like to continue to grow this thing and hopefully make it a staple for my content. YouTube videos, though, like pre-edited, how would you say this? Regular YouTube videos, I guess, are uploaded on Wednesdays now. So look forward to dropping a video this Wednesday. This Wednesday will be my second bass fishing tournament video. You're a genius. I have a monitor that wobbles, and she just fixed it. Thanks. I have a dual monitor setup.
Problem solver, what can I say?
And then I got a couple reels coming as well, where I need to work on that. That's something that I specifically need to target. And we've said this over and over again about how if you're looking to grow as a creator and an influencer, short form content is the way to go. So I'm hoping that I will be on the reel grind very soon, and I would encourage you guys to do the same if that's what you're wanting to do. You've been into me since the Catchco thing. Hey, I appreciate it, dude. I really do. Justin to Fishing. And I mean, as always, like if there's anything that we can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out to us, man. We appreciate you. Oh, I can create a poll in chat. Oh, we're gonna do that next time. We're gonna do a poll. So yeah, plenty of content coming your way. I've got a few videos backlogged. If it gets too backed up, I'll start releasing more than just one a week. But for now, one a week is my goal. As well as trying to get in the mindset of doing reels more often. Last thing I'm going to say, and then we'll jump into a Q&A, is this. What if you, even if you've been on the show before, GB, if you or someone you know is an angler or a content creator and you think they would be a good guest, or you would like to see them on the show, either let them know, tell them to reach out to me, shoot me a DM, or let me know and I'll shoot them a DM and see if we can get something worked out, because we do this live every Monday night at 8 Eastern time, and I would love to have someone different on every single week. I would love to do that, so it's not just me talking. Amber, did you have fun?
Yeah, I'm not like in front of the camera. Yeah. Talking.
I think you added value though. I think you added value to the show.
Thank you.
Love you. Let's get married. All right. we've got a few minutes now. If you got, we'll go into the Q&A section. If you guys have any questions for me or Amber, whether it's about fishing or content creating or anything in between, we would love to answer it as long as it's not what Josh asked earlier. Also, hey, we've done some cooking live streams before. Were those fun?
Yeah, but like I said, I'm just not the in front of the camera person. I don't feel natural behind the camera or in front of the camera.
How would you guys feel if we did some live cooking streams again? Yeah, Zuggy seems really cool. He actually hopped in here one week when Tate was on. I would love to talk to him because I think his War Eagle shirt was not Auburn. I think it was a different War Eagle, but I would love to have Zuggy on. You should mention it to him for me. I think that'd be cool. Because Garrett also is asking someone to be on for me as well. Hopefully, that would be cool. Teach versus Amber cooking vid. Thoughts?
I would be the better cook. You would be the better person on camera.
She said she would be the better cook, but I'd be the better person. So there you go. What we could do
on camera, not like.
No, you said what you said.
No,
you said what you said.
You interrupted me.
Yeah, she's definitely a better cook than I am. I think I'm a better cook than you give me credit for, though. I just don't cook.
Try to grill hot dogs.
All right, you got to tell the story.
Him and my sister had to cook hot dogs one night, and I guess they had it on low, right?
I thought it was on low. Yeah.
No, y'all had it on low, and they said it didn't look like it was cooking
fast
enough.
Yeah.
So they turned it on high, maybe.
Yeah.
Turned it up. Either way, ended up burning the hot dogs. Like they were not edible.
Well, we walked back outside to check on them, and the flames were engulfing the entire grill.
I didn't see all that.
And Kara, if you're watching, she did it.
Well, they came in blaming each other, so I don't know what.
Look, I don't know how to grill. Okay, I can be honest. I'm not a griller. You know.
What do you cook?
Let's see. What do I cook? I used to cook.
Like what?
I don't know, but I can cook stuff.
What was the thing you said you made?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh my gosh.
It was something you said you used to cook in college.
Oh no. I used to cook ranch chicken in college, where you basically take chicken breast, you put it in a pan, you literally drowned it in ranch dressing. You cook it. Wait. Before it's done though, you sprinkle mozzarella cheese all over the top, and then you put it back in and let the cheese melt. Oh boy.
I mean, I guess that's cooking.
I mean, hey, we didn't die, you know? We didn't die. It was a good time. Well, chat, it is 9 o'clock. For those of you listening later, we've been going for right at an hour. Need a job? I know a guy. Garrett works at a restaurant down there in West Point, Georgia. Hey, if you ever find yourself in West Point, Georgia, definitely make sure you hit up Johnny's Pizza. Go see my man Garrett. He'll come talk to you. Except last time I was in there, he actually didn't. He just waved to me, and I was like, maybe it's because he's working, you know?
Did it hurt your feelings?
No. So I was there talking to people about a funeral, and so yeah. So it was kind of weird. Anyway. Guys, thank you guys so much for listening to tonight's episode. I know it was a little bit different, and maybe a little bit weird, and maybe even a little bit scattered. Usually our format is the intro, getting to know the person we're interviewing, and then we talk about fishing, and then we talk about content creating and how those two things overlap, and then we have a Q&A section at the end. We'll be back to that format next week. I just wanted to get Amber on here and give her a chance to get to know you guys, and you guys get a chance to know her, because you know, this wouldn't be possible without her and her support, because if she wasn't as supportive as she is, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So thank her. I thank you. You're the best. You were swamped? Yeah, okay. I knew you were busy. As always, I really appreciate you guys. I couldn't do this without her, but also I wouldn't do it without you. I do this because I enjoy the community. I love the feedback, and I love being a part of this amazing community. So thank you guys so much for supporting me and all of my content goals and dreams that I believe we're going to reach sooner than later. And once again, if you're listening to this on a podcasting app, thank you so much for listening. We're coming to the end of the episode. Head over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/teejstone, and hit me with a subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 viewers or 1,000 subs as soon as possible. It would mean the world to me. I'm going to hit you guys with the ending screen and some music on the way out. You guys are seriously the best. Thank you so much, and I love you. As always, video coming to you Wednesday. Hope you guys have a good night. Love you.